Greetings, ladies and gentlemen of the internet. Jan Michael here. The reviews are done. And now it's time for my Anime Award final predictions. Got my list right here. Went over them, changed some stuff, went over them again, changed some more stuff, went over them again, reverted back some stuff, and I think I've come to the decision that I have no idea what I'm gonna do this year. Do I just go for solo leveling, like in all of its categories? I mean, this show's super popular, so it's a popularity contest. It's gonna go home with the win, right? But I feel like, first, solo leveling doesn't have an incredible amount of nominations, so what about the ones where it's not nominated? Who do I vote for then? And is it going to win even in the categories that it doesn't deserve the win? Maybe, probably, but something about that feels wrong. And so I think this year I'm gonna do things just slightly different. Now, typically when I do predictions, final predictions anyway, I try to think 80% with my brain, 20% with my heart. First, just because there are those nominations that I want to be in their corner. If they end up not winning, fine, I'll take the hit, but I want to be in their corner, because if I'm not and they win, in a weird way, it feels like, oh man, like I didn't have any faith in them. But I know you have to think more critically about these sort of things, because, you know, what your favorite is doesn't always typically go on to win. But this year, because everything is just so popular, I don't even know if I could do that. How can I really judge each one critically and go, oh yeah, well, the populace is going to go for this one because it's more popular than this one, but is it in this regard? Or how about in this regard, is it more popular here? Is it just one show that's going to over encompass everything? And there's just too much. And so, man, I've been going back and forth on certain categories. And I think instead of doing it the normal way, I'm gonna go ahead and do 80% with my heart and 20% with my mind. Like, there's those categories where I'm like, okay, yeah, for sure, I feel this is what's gonna win because it's the populist thing. But I think a lot of the other times I'm gonna vote for what I would vote for. That's what I'm gonna predict in this video. Will that pan out? Probably not. And if it doesn't, and this happens to be your first video of mine you're watching, let me just let you know that what I like to do for my predictions is, after the show is done, I do a recording of me reacting to the winners, but I take a shot for every wrong guess I get. And there's a lot of categories. So if I really am not getting any right, I can be in some serious trouble. So join me on this roller coaster of a potential nightmare as I go through these final 2025 Anime Award predictions. Oh, and please forgive me, because I'm probably going to mispronounce some of these names, but I promise you I am trying to pronounce them correctly. All right, on with the show. For Best Voice Artist Performance in English, the nominees are AJ Beckles as Ukarun from Dandadan, Alex Lee for Sung Jin Woo from Solo Leveling, Jesse James Grell as Arlen Arlet from Attack on Titan, the final season, the final chapters, Special 2. Mallory Rodak as Frieren for Frieren, Beyond Journey's End. Sarah Natucheni as Alya from Alya Sometimes Hides Her Feelings in Russian. Songwon Cho as Senshi from Delicious in Dungeon. Right off the bat, I'm going the old solo leveling train with Alex Lee as Sung Jin Woo. And yeah, I mean, it makes sense. His voice is sexy as hell. It matches exactly what is supposed to be for the character, like a badass. And I'll also argue that there is range for Alex in this first season, which is what the nominee encompasses only. I know second season just got done airing. Everyone loves it, but focus. It's just the first season. But when Jin Woo is weak, he does have a different voice versus when he turns badass, and I think Alex does manage to capture both sides of him. So completely fine with this win if it does end up going to Alex Lee. Personally, I'd rather have Sungwon Cho take home the win for Senshi. I thought that voice was spot on, perfect, funny. It's exactly what it needed to be. But if Alex takes it, completely cool here, and that is where my prediction is gonna go. For Best Voice Artist Performance in Japanese, the nominees are Aoyuki as Mao Mao from the Apothecary Diaries, Atsumi Tanizaki as Frieren from Frieren Beyond Journey's End, Kenichi Suzumura as Braven from Brave Bang Braveren, Natsuki Hanai as Okarun from Dandadan, Sayaka Sembongi as Marcille from Delicious in Dungeon, Shion Wakayama as Momo from Dandadan. Quite honestly, I think there's multiple routes you can go here. I can see an argument made for Atsumi as Frieren. I think that's a voice that matches that character perfectly. It's exactly what it needs to be. It's not my personal favorite of the lineup, but I love Frieren. I'm not opposed to getting another win under its belt. The more, the better. And again, just voice matches perfectly for what that character needs to be. I really like Shion as Momo from Dandadan. I think she is a standout performance there. And again, for someone that's, if you've seen my review, hasn't had like this long list of amazing credits. I mean, she has her credits, but nothing that's like been, holy crap, that's amazing. Like this, to me, is her first real standout role where I'm like, holy crap, that's it. That's it. I can see Sayaka maybe even as well, but to not kind of ramble on about everybody, I think Aoyuki probably has this in the bag. Mao Mao definitely has a unique personality to her, and one that I think sticks out from the lineup. Just the way that she has that kind of low tone, but she still has her like, you know, moments that she goes over the top. There's things that like catch her interest, and she can't help herself but go over the top and do those anime tropes, and you like that about her. You like the personality that this character has, and a part of that is Ao's voice. So if Ao goes home with the win, very much deserved. But again, I think I'd be fine with just about any of these other actresses taking home the win. This is a pretty solid category, in my opinion. For Best Ending Sequence, the nominees are Dandadan, The Elusive Samurai, Kaiju Number 8, Oshi no Ko Season 2, Ranma 1/2, Solo Leveling. Out of all of these, my personal favorite is The Elusive Samurai. It just has that energy to it that I really like anime endings to have. I can easily watch that one over and over, but I can't say the same about almost any of these other nominees. I actually kind of underwhelmed with a lot of these picks. But the one apart from that one, because again, it's a popularity contest, how many are really going to vote for The Elusive Samurai? Probably not many. If there was a backup, I do think it would go to Solo Leveling. If you see my review, I did talk about how that one presents an interesting idea of where the story could have gone. It ultimately doesn't go that route, but just the fact that it created this interesting possibility, just that alone, I thought, oh wow, man, like the ending has a better story than the full-on story of Solo Leveling. So kudos to that. And I think the song is really nice in that one too. So to me, I think that's who your winner is going to be. Personally, Elusive Samurai, but this one, not a bad runner-up in my opinion, and it is probably going to be your winner. So that's where my prediction's going. For Best Opening Sequence, the nominees are Dandadan, Kaiju Number 8, Mashle, Magic and Muscles, The Divine Visionary Candidate Exam Arc, One Piece, Oshi no Ko Season 2, Solo Leveling. So, where's my dear friend Nokotan here? I mean, that has quite a catchy opening. Like, I hated that anime. Like, I couldn't stand it. But the opening, it was like the only thing I did not have a problem with. And that song was like super popular. Like everybody was like ripping off the song and doing their own things with it. So I'm surprised that didn't make the cut here, even though that anime has other nominations. Going off on a tangent here. Part of me feels that probably Solo Leveling is going to take this one home as well. Fine, I guess it wouldn't be like a terrible win. Like I'm okay. It does elicit excitement for watching the show. I just think overall it's kind of messy. But for me, if you've seen my review of Dandadan, you know Dandadan has one of the most perfect anime openings, probably of all time, in my opinion. I haven't seen every single anime opening in the world, but the ones that like vividly stick out in my mind, where I feel like they personify what the show is about. Like, you see the opening, you understand exactly what you're gonna get. That is what Dandadan delivers. So yes, this is what I'm gonna be voting with my heart on. It's gotta go Dandadan. It's gotta, and I feel it has a chance to go home with the win. Again, it has the most nominations. If this is a popularity contest, it's gotta go home with some wins. So that's what I have for you. But again, if you want to play it smart, probably Solo Leveling, and yeah, that one would be fine. I wouldn't be like upset about it. I'd just be kind of disappointed. For best score, the nominees are Bleach, Thousand Year Blood War, The Conflict, Dandadan, Demon Slayer, Kimetsu no Yaiba Hashira Training Arc, Frieren, Beyond Journey's End, Look Back, Solo Leveling. Does Solo Leveling continue its trajectory with this category as well? God, I hope not. I'm going to continue referencing my reviews, so a lot of my conversations you're going to understand more if you've seen the individual reviews, but I don't think the music in Solo Leveling is bad in the context of its action. Like, when you're watching the show, you hear the music play out with the action scenes, you get pumped. It works well. It blends together well. But just listening to the music on your own, I just don't get that same excitement out of it. I was actually very underwhelmed. So I really hope it doesn't take home the win here. To me, it comes down to two. First, Frieren, which is what I'm predicting here. Such beautiful music. It creates the perfect atmosphere in every scene. And I don't even know how to put it into words. Just like the action, the calm moments, the day-to-day activities, the somber moments, the sad ones, the happy ones. Like, it all works together so beautifully. Just listening to the entire soundtrack, I was transported. It made me want to watch the show all over again. So I think that's exactly what a score needs to be. The second one that I'd be completely fine with is Dandadan. It definitely has this kind of like techno-y pop, EDM type style music, and you kind of perk up and you listen. Kind of how I said with Solo Leveling, where you could see the action and the music kind of pumps you up, but on its own, it doesn't do much. This is one that you watch with the action, you're pumped up, and you can listen to it outside of the anime and still be pumped up. So for me, it's one of those two. Personally, Frieren, that's the one that should go home with the win. I'd be completely okay with Dandadan going home with the win here as well. But yeah, I wouldn't be a fan if Solo Leveling took home this one. For Best Anime Song, the nominees are Abyss by Youngblood from Kaiju Number 8. Bling Bang Bang Born by Creepynuts from Mashle, Magic and Muscles, the Divine Visionary Candidate Exam Arc. Fatal by Gem from Oshinoko Season 2. Level by Sawano Hiroyuki and Tomorrow by Together from Solo Leveling. Otonoke by Creepynuts from Dandadan. The Brave by Yasobi from Frieren, Beyond Journey's End. I'm sure I fucked up some of those pronunciations, so please forgive me. And if I said something just completely wrong, you're like, actually, that's said like this, let me know in the comments. I ain't perfect, and correct me so I know not to get it wrong in the future. Now, there's only one winner here. There's only one winner that I will accept, and that's Bling Bang Bang Born. Like, I don't know how to say this without fucking losing my shit here, but this song, it like transcended the medium of anime. Popular anime songs come out all the time. Like, we as a community, like, we gravitate towards it because we like anime. We like Japanese music. We see the appeal of it. But, and I'll kind of use my wife as an example here, where she watches anime, but she's not like a hardcore anime fan. She doesn't keep up with like news, anything like that. The most of her knowledge is things that she just happens to come across or things that I tell her about. And she really doesn't listen to music outside the English or Spanish language. Like, it's just not her thing. So when this song came out and she's like, hey, this isn't bad, and actually listen to it like outside of the anime, that is impressive. Like, me knowing my wife, that is impressive. And there's people I know that dabble in anime. They're not like huge into anime, who I heard listening to the song. They weren't even watching Mashal. They just liked the song. That's what I mean by transcending. And that's so exciting when something that you love, like a medium that you love, transcends like the genre, the grouping that it's in, right? The fan base that it's in, and like encapsulates everybody. I'm gonna turn to the Oscars. I think of when the song from RRR came out, Natu, and like everybody was on board with that shit, and that's just so rare to see, especially for the Academy. Like it transcended, and everybody was excited to hear it and honor that song. So I feel that's what we got here. So that's why I try not to lose my shit. If anything else takes home the win here, I'm gonna be fucking pissed. It's going to Bling Bang Bang Born by Creepy Nuts. Lock that shit in. For Best Must Protect at All Costs Character, the nominees are Anya Forger from Spy Family Season 2, Frieren from Frieren Beyond Journey's End, Okaru from Dandadan, Senshi from Delicious in Dungeon, Tokiyuki Hojo from The Elusive Samurai, Yuki Itose from A Sign of Affection. Part of me hopes Senshi takes the win here, just because he's such a sweet character. You really like him, and he's a cook. You gotta protect the cooks, man. You just gotta. But I think a lot of people are gonna vote for the one that they feel actually needs to be protected. And as much as I would definitely protect Senshi, he's also powerful, so he probably doesn't need as much protecting. Maybe be his backup, but protecting, I can see like people's mindset going, he doesn't need protecting, which, look at my reviews, I make counter arguments to those type of things. But you look at Anya, who is a child that, isn't all powerful. Yeah, she has like psychic abilities, but she can't fight back. She can't like wield weaponry, anything of that nature. And she actually needs to be protected. She's also won this category twice in the past. I don't see why she wouldn't win it a third time, especially seeing the lineup here. So while I'm secretly going to be rooting for Senshi, I think this one is very obviously going to go once again to Anya. And you know what? I get it. I understand. I definitely would protect her as well. So I'm not mad about this one at all. For Best Supporting Character, the nominees are Fern from Frieren Beyond Journey's End, Himmel from Frieren Beyond Journey's End, Jinshi from The Apothecary Diaries, Seiko from Dandadan, Senshi from Delicious in Dungeon, Turbo Granny from Dandadan. This one's an interesting one. Like, there's certain ones that I just don't agree with whatsoever. But I think you got a couple of good ones here. You got Seika, you got Senshi, you got Fern, you got Himmel. I think you got 4 really solid choices. And if any of them go home with the win, I'd be completely fine with it. Jinshi, Turbo Granny, I wouldn't even have him in this category. Like, get him out of here. That's just me, of course. However, I think Fern. I think out of all these, to me, Fern is the one that I think is your best supporting character in a multitude of ways. First, just great personality, has a cute rapport with Stark. You like seeing their interactions together. But from a story perspective, she is the character that you are kind of like introduced to the world in. I get she's not like in the first few episodes, but as soon as she kind of comes in and you're introduced to more of the broader concepts of the world and you start to explore, a lot of it she's also experiencing for the first time. So you're seeing things through her eyes, if you will. And as such, I think she's very important to the story, and as such, probably a more impactful supporting character, if you will, compared to all the others. So to me, just emotionally and logically, it just makes sense to give the win to Fern. And I'm in agreement. That's my prediction. That's who should win. But again, any of those other 3 take it, I'd still be completely fine with it. Just not those other 2. Please, just not those other 2. For Best Main Character, the nominees are Frieren from Frieren Beyond Journey's End, Kafka Hibino from Kaiju Number 8, Mao Mao from The Apothecary Diaries, Momo from Dandadan, Okaru from Dandadan, Songjin Woo from Solo Leveling. Yeah, so what the fuck is Sung Jin Woo doing here? That's he's only here because of the popularity of the show, and goddamn you guys for putting him in there, because again, it's a popularity contest. People are gonna probably vote for him, be like, oh yeah, he's badass, he's awesome. He's not a character. He's not a character. He's like the outline of a character, and you place yourself into him. It's like, yeah, he's badass, I'm badass. See my review for Solo Leveling. You'll understand what I'm talking about. Quite honestly, almost every other one, even if I personally wouldn't put them in there, I can at least understand why they're in here. But yeah, Sung Jin Woo's definitely the outlier here. So God, please don't go home with the win. Out of all of them, I'd probably go Mao Mao. Like, I really like Mao Mao's personality a lot. She and I definitely shared a lot of similar mindsets. Again, not to go off on a tangent, just go see my review for the Apothecary Diaries. God of a Deduction is like, it's like an OP skill, but you know what? You're okay with it. It's like that anime logic that you're okay just completely jumping into. Even if you take the step back, you're like, all right, that's a little bit far-fetched, but you're still having fun with it. And again, she has those moments where she like sees something she's passionate about and she loves, and she goes over the top, kind of like I'm doing right now, talking about this category, talking about the Anime Awards. You can connect with this character, and again, this goes back to Ao and her voice for the character as well. I think that also helps the character stand out all the more. So yeah, here I'm gonna go Mao Mao for the Apothecary Diaries. I don't know if she will win. Again, if you want to think logically, you should probably go with Sung Jin Woo. But no, this one's a heart pick. This has got to go to Mao Mao. For Best Slice of Life, the nominees are The Dangers in My Heart Season 2, Laid Back Camp Season 3, Makin, Too Many Losing Heroines, Mr. Villain's Day Off, My Dear Friend Nokotan, Sound, Euphonium 3. So I'm a little bit split here, because I know The Dangers in My Heart is incredibly popular in terms of its romance, and it's also nominated for romance. But as a slice of life, is it also gonna take the win? It's popularity. Some people probably don't even think that hard about these things and go, oh, I love that show and I haven't seen any of those, I'm gonna click on that one. But this is why I think you should think a little bit more clearly in terms of who you're nominating in each category. Yes, there could be a blending of genres, but if something is primarily a romance, I mean, romances and slice of lives, I feel almost go hand in hand. I mean, if this is the case, why don't you include like Dan to Dan in this category, right? Because you can have a blending of genres, and Dan to Dan is technically also a romance, because the relationship between Momo and Okaru is also front and center. Like, that's a big part of that show, just their interactions with each other and how their feelings slowly grow with each other. So, I mean, but this logic, you should also include that here. So that's why, if you're not going to do that, then you really should think a little bit more about what's going into each category. But I'm going off on a tangent here. I'm not going to go for The Dangers in My Heart, even though that's probably going to win. I want to go for an actual slice of life. And for me, that's McCain, which I know I'm probably pronouncing wrong. Too Many Losing Heroines. Let's just leave it at that. Yes, there is romantic undertones to it, but look at the show as a whole, at least in the first season. It's not a romance. Like, they make it painfully clear throughout the whole thing, there really is no romance that's going to build between our protagonist and any of these ladies as of yet. For me, this is truly a slice of life, and I really enjoyed the show, so that's where my vote's going to go and what I'm going to be predicting. For Best Drama, the nominees are The Apothecary Diaries, Dead Dead Demons Dead Destruction, Frieren, Beyond Journey's End, Oshinoko Season 2, Pluto, A Sign of Affection. Frieren, done deal, easiest of the night, or at least one of the easiest of the nights. I mean, I know the Apothecary Diaries is in here as well, and it's also nominated for Anime of the Year, but again, if we're going off popularity, Frieren, I think, definitely trumps Apothecary Diaries. Sorry, Apothecary Diaries fans. And yeah, to me, it just makes sense. Frieren's got to go home with the win here. If it doesn't go home with the win, it's going to be a bad night for Frieren, and I'm going to be very depressed because of it. For Best Isekai Anime, the nominees are Konosuba, God's Blessing on This Wonderful World 3, Mushoku Tensei, Jobless Reincarnation Season 2, Core 2. ReZero, Starting Life in Another World, Season 3. Shangri-La Frontier, Season 2. Suicide Squad Isekai, That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime, Season 3. I'm very interested to see who you all ultimately vote in this category for, because there's two anime here that I think will be duking it out, and that's Konosuba and ReZero. Both of these, I think, have proven to be very popular in their own kind of base camps, if you will. But now that we've got these two kind of at war with each other, who's going to come out victorious? I think it's ReZero. Konosuba is a fun kind of just like comedic anime, and then there are some serious moments as well. Those moments definitely stick out all the more just because the show is so over the top with its comedic aspects. But ReZero, like, that story hits you. I guess maybe the only thing maybe working against it is that I think since season 1, like the subsequent seasons just haven't been as strong. Like, they're still good. Like, at no point did any of these other seasons like completely disappoint. There are still moments of shock where you're like, oh my god. But comparing it to the first season, where it was like every single episode, I was like, oh my god, I need to see what's next. I don't think it's gotten to that point again. But maybe I'm in the minority. Maybe I'm just hard to please. I have no idea. Regardless, I still think ReZero's got this in the bag, maybe. Again, just very interested to see how this is ultimately going to turn out. But ReZero, that's where my vote and prediction is going. For Best Action, the nominees are Bleach, 1,000-Year Blood War, The Conflict, Dandadan, Demon Slayer, Kimetsu no Yaiba Hashira Training Arc, Kaiju Number 8, Solo Leveling, Windbreaker. Yeah, this one's going to Solo Leveling. There really is nothing else it could go to. I guess you can maybe make an argument for Dandadan, but Solo Leveling is a juggernaut. Like, it's on a completely different tier in terms of popularity. Calm your rolls. Those are like, actually, chill. I'm talking about in terms of popularity. This is going to Solo Leveling. I do think it's a done deal. But if it does go to Dandadan, hey, I like surprises. I'd be down for it. That'd probably be a happy shot I'd be taking for the night. For Best Comedy, the nominees are Delicious in Dungeon, Konosuba, God's Blessing on This Wonderful World 3, Mashle, Magic and Muscles, the Divine Visionary Candidate Exam Arc, My Dear Friend Nokotan, Ranma 1/2, Spy Family, Season 2. Okay, so this is one that, again, is going to be kind of interesting. So, when it comes to, like the Anime Awards, DICE Awards, where you have these kind of genre subgroups, I know it's very easy to be like, well, in this case, Delicious in Dungeons here, it's also nominated for Anime of the Year. That's your obvious winner, right? And I always stress caution here because, yes, that could very well be a possibility, but we've seen multiple times in the past that is not necessarily so. And here you also have Konosuba, which, as I just mentioned, is probably going to be duking out with ReZero for the other win. So could this be the area where Konosuba is actually granted the win? I don't know. It's a possibility, but Delicious in Dungeon is incredibly popular, so I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility that it's also going to go home with the win. So I'm going to stick with Delicious in Dungeon, but just know I'm not 100% confident. If Konosuba does take it, I'm probably going to go, yeah, that makes sense. I kind of saw that coming. For Best Romance, the nominees are Blue Box, The Dangers in My Heart, Season 2, McCain, Too Many Losing Heroines, Ranma 1/2, Scott Pilgrim Takes Off, A Sign of Affection. First things first, I love that Scott Pilgrim is here. Like, I am a huge Scott Pilgrim fan, and when this show came out, and it's essentially a sequel, almost, if you will, to the Scott Pilgrim, like, manga, if you will, the graphic comic, whatever you want to call it. Heck, even the movie. Yeah, I guess more the movie because you got the same cast, if you will. It's basically a sequel. So I know some people are disappointed that it wasn't another retelling of the story, just in anime form. I love that world so much that I'm okay seeing these characters in completely new scenarios. So I was completely cool with that, and I was very happy with the show. So I'm glad it hasn't been forgotten and it got the nomination here. That being said, it's not gonna win. As I was mentioning, The Dangers in My Heart, incredibly popular in terms of its romance. So that's where my prediction is gonna be going. But no, yeah, that's pretty much it. There is no but. That's most likely gonna be your winner. For Best Background Art, the nominees are The Apothecary Diaries, Dan Da Dan, Delicious in Dungeon, Demon Slayer, Kimetsu no Yaiba Hashira Training Arc, Frieren, Beyond Journey's End, Pluto. Another one that I'd be completely happy if Frieren takes home the win. But here's where I'm going to be voting for my heart, because while that does seem to be the most likely scenario in this instance, I think Dan Da Dan's background art, with what it does with its like its color schemes, like sometimes it gets just so abstract. It's like, just pause, like actually look at the action and just pause and look at the background, and you'll see exactly what I mean. In my review, I mentioned this, but the entire action scene where they're like in the school and they go underwater and they're fighting this creature that's under the water. Like at one point, it's like coming out of the depth, like this. It's just black. That's all it is. It's just a black background, but you feel it. It's like, if you've ever seen like movies of like people like being in the ocean, or those creepy little, hey, are you this phobia? And it's like these ginormous like open areas where you can't see all the way to the bottom, but there's like something moving down there. That is like the sort of feeling that I got while watching that scene. And that's when I said, holy crap, like this atmosphere, the background, right? It's minimalist, but it hits you hard. Yeah, I'm definitely going to do the prediction there. But again, Frieren takes this 100% happy. I have no problem with Frieren. I love Frieren. More wins in its camp, please. But I also got to give credit where credit is due. And I do think Dan Da Dan just slightly edges out in this category for me personally. For Best Director, the nominees are Fuga Yamashiro from Dan Da Dan, Haruo Sotozaki from Demon Slayer, Kimetsu no Yaiba Hashira Training Arc, Keiichiro Saito from Frieren, Beyond Journey's End, Megumi Ishitani from One Piece Fan Letter, Notohiro Naganuma from The Apothecary Diaries, Yoshihiro Miyajima from Delicious in Dungeon. Some fucking excellent picks here. I truly don't think there's one bad one in the well. Just maybe Haru for Demon Slayer. Honestly, Demon Slayer did not need these many nominations. If you want to throw it in for like animation, even that, like there's only like 2 moments where I think the animation is truly spectacular in that one. This is truly a popular contest. And I love Demon Slayer. That's like one of my favorite anime of all time. Like, I'm not a hater in that regard whatsoever, but even me, like this season, it should not have been a season. So just the very fact that they stretched out this training to be a season, that already shouldn't give this person the nomination. But I'm going off on a hate tangent. I'm not gonna want to. I don't want to do that. I mean, this is obviously going to Keiichiro Saito for Frieren. I mean, what he did here was masterful. I cannot put into words what he has contributed to the anime like world, to the community. This truly is a piece of art that is going to be remembered like forever, and is going to be spoken in the same breath. You know, as like things like Trigun, which is like one of my all-time favorite animes, as Yu Yu Hakusho, as Fullmetal Alchemist, as Cowboy Bebop, like name the top ones, Neon Genesis Evangelion, whatever you think is a masterpiece, like this is going to be spoken in the same breath as that. And for that alone, Keiichiro definitely deserves the win. This is one I'm going to be very upset at if he doesn't take home the win. It's just because what the fuck else do you need to do to take home the win here? Yeah, I would not have the answer to that going forward if that was the case. For Best Character Design, the nominees are The Apothecary Diaries, Dan Da Dan, Delicious in Dungeon, Demon Slayer, Kimetsu no Yaiba Hashira Training Arc, Frieren, Beyond Journey's End, Kaiju number 8. I think you can go in many different directions with this category, but for me, I'm going with Delicious in Dungeon. Broken record. Go see my review of Delicious in Dungeon. I talk about all the amazing character designs that are in this show. And even if the main cast, the supporting cast, all the cast members that show up, which there's quite a bit of them, even if those are not your thing, just the different creature designs are fucking amazing. The clip that I used was one where they have these, it's gold, it's necklaces, and they're bugs. Like, that's great. That's incredibly creative. Like, that's the sort of thing that Delicious in Dungeon does with its designs choices that make it worthy of this win. Again, you can make an argument for, I think, a lot of all these other ones. Maybe Dandadan takes home this one just because a lot of these characters are making goofy faces. They're not afraid to be expressive, and I can understand that being the win. I wouldn't be upset for that win, but for me, when you really break it down, like, Delicious in Dungeon has the best of both worlds. You have the human elements, or the character elements, and you have the monster elements as well, and I think they go together greatly. So that's where I'm going to be predicting, and where I'm crossing my fingers that takes home the win. For Best Animation, the nominees are Dandadan, Delicious in Dungeon, Demon Slayer, Kimetsu no Yaiba Hashira Training Arc, Frieren, Beyond Journey's End, Kaiju number 8, Solo Leveling. I mean, come on. Come on. Even if you hate Solo Leveling, animation is not the category to try to make your case in. It's just not. This is like god tier animation. This is like, it's going to dethrone Demon Slayer. Like, Demon Slayer was like the proprietor of this award for what, like 2-3 years in a row, something like that, right? Like, that was the standard. Like, people were mesmerized. Forget it. I don't even think it's in competition this year. Like, it's nominated, and I think it's barely nominated, in my opinion. This is going to Solo Leveling. Like, if it doesn't go to Solo Leveling, if Demon Slayer still takes this, I truly don't know. I don't know the populace, I guess. But, oh well. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. That's how flabbergasted I am. Like, if something other than Solo Leveling takes this one, that's how I will be. Just like, what? I'm done. For Best Original Anime, the nominees are Buchigiri, Girls Band Cry, Jellyfish Can't Swim in the Night, Metallic Rouge, Ninja Kamui, Train to the End of the World. Yo no sé. I truly don't know. You know what? I think this is the first time ever that I don't think I've seen a single anime in a category. Like, even though, like, I can't see every single anime out there, but it's every category I've at least seen some. This is the first time I've gone into a category where I'm like, man, I haven't seen any one of these. So yeah, I truly don't know. Sometimes I'll even defer to the only one that I've seen just because that's the one I saw, unless it's fucking terrible, in which case I'll just kind of shoot my shot from one of the others. But yeah, I got 6 I'm going to pick from, and I truly don't know. I did some research, of course. I took a look at reviews. I took a look at what people were saying. That doesn't always pan out to be who your winner is going to be, but I got no other choice. So I'm going to go for Girls Band Cry. I heard the best out of that one. But I've also heard of a lot of people upset that certain other animations didn't get into this category. So make that what you will. For Best New Series, the nominees are The Apothecary Diaries, Dandadan, Delicious in Dungeon, Frieren, Beyond Journey's End, Kaiju number 8, Solo Leveling. This category and Anime of the Year are very literally that meme from The Office where Pam's holding up the 2 pictures and she's like, it's the same picture. It's the exact same nominees. And while I normally would say, hey, the winner of this one doesn't always go on to win Anime of the Year because you also have Best like Continuing Series, it's like you just kind of got no choice. Who are you voting for Anime of the Year on? And it's probably going to go here. And if it doesn't, it's just, this is one of those things that just wouldn't make any sense to me. Like, my brain would break. I always think of the year that Cyberpunk Edgerunners won like Anime of the Year, but it had only won one other award, and it was like for best English voice acting. And I'm like, what? How does that make sense? It doesn't win anywhere else. It's just those two. What? So I mean, I guess in that sense we could get that, but I still wouldn't understand. But yeah, spoiler alert: Free Rent. That's who I think is gonna win. So I mean, there you go. For best continuing series, the nominees are Bleach, Thousand Year Blood War, The Conflict, Demon Slayer, Kimetsu no Yaiba Hashira Training Arc, My Hero Academia Season 7, One Piece, Oshinoko Season 2, Spy Family Season 2. Ah, yes, the One Piece Award. Like, One Piece is gonna win this every single year. Like, as long as that anime continues, it's gonna continue winning. The only exception is if Dragon Ball Z came out with another season, like, then that one would win, because that's, like, the only other one that's won. Although, I mean, with Akira Toriyama, sadly no longer with us, would that hurt the series if it did continue? I mean, I guess if it just didn't live up to what it had said beforehand, I guess it would, but that's a story for another time. For now, this continues to be the One Piece Award. Yeah, that's not going to change anytime soon. For Film of the Year, the nominees are The Colors Within, Haikyuu, The Dumpster Battle, Look Back, Mononoke the Movie, The Phantom in the Rain, My Hero Academia, You're Next, Spy Family Code White. So anime film's one of those interesting ones because you know what the superior product is, but it doesn't matter because this is a popularity contest. So what is the movie that the most people have gone to see? And not only that, they've gone to seen and loved. Because while you can make an argument for, like, let's say Haikyuu the Dumpster Battle, like that's popular, but it's also a sports anime, and as worthy as those have been to take home the win here, just I think a vast majority of people just don't go see sports anime, and it's a shame because they do end up being good, but that's why you shouldn't go that route. At least in my past experience with this award, you shouldn't go that route. You have like movies like The Colors Within, like Look Back, that did hit our theaters here in America, I should say, and I'm sure people went to go see it, but how many people went to go see it? Is this going to stack up to the more well-known ones? Like, it'd have to be like a Miyazaki type of production in order to get in here. And yeah, I don't see that being the case in this regards for those taking home the win. Your biggest ones are My Hero Academia and Spy Family. Those are well-known brands, right? People know them. People are going to go see them in theaters. They're going to flock to them. Those are the ones that hit the most theaters because they know there's a huge fan base for them. So they know they got to spread it out because people will go see it. The only difference here is that I don't think a lot of people really like this last My Hero Academia movie. Actually, that whole kind of series has kind of spiraled. Like, it still has its passionate fan base. I do think there's still more love than hate for it, but there is definitely a backlash against it. And this last movie, I think unanimously, a lot of people are like, yeah, this isn't the best. Meanwhile, Spy Family, I think people did gravitate towards it and they did like it. It probably didn't make as much as My Hero Academia just by genre alone. I think that one's probably your bigger one. I haven't looked at the numbers, so, call me out on that bullshit if I'm wrong. But just kind of, yes, maybe not a lot of people went to go see it versus that one, but more people liked that one. So, and just by that, maybe the ones who even went to go see the first one, if they didn't like it, they're like, well, I haven't seen Spy Family, but I know it, I've seen it, I've liked it, the show anyway, so I'm just going to cast my vote for that because it's the only other one I know. So all that long-winded bullshit talk just to say that my vote here is for Spy Family. But you see how the inner machinations of my mind work now, right? Or did you just skip to see what my prediction was and are on to the next category? Good idea, let's go. For Anime of the Year, the nominees are The Apothecary Diaries, Dan, Delicious in Dungeon, Frieren, Beyond Journey's End, Kaiju number 8, Solo Leveling. And it all comes down to this last one. You want to play it smart? Solo Leveling. In fact, Solo Leveling, every single category that it's nominated for, that should be your pick for winner. Looking at the numbers, Solo Leveling is one of the biggest anime of all time. And if this is a popularity contest, which it is, that should be your proof that that is going to go home with everything, including Anime of the Year. But that's boring. I also don't think it deserves everything. And I'm not a hater of the show. If you've seen my review, I do say that there's a lot of faults with it, but I don't care. It's still entertaining. I want to be entertained. That's what I'm here for. So, yeah, I'm not a hater. Would this be a god-awful win if it went home with the win? No, in the sense of it being by itself. I think people are going to go back to it, and it will be remembered, especially by the new generation. This is going to be like their generations, like Naruto, like Bleach, One Piece, where it's remembered, and they're going to show their kids this show in the future. I see that path for it. So no, by itself, it wouldn't be a bad win. It stacked well against the other winners. Where it is a bad win is when you're comparing it to Frieren, which is a masterpiece, which is not only going to be remembered, it's going to be studied. It's impacted the anime world. Maybe in not ways that you see right now, but it has. I guarantee you it has. 5 years from now, 10 years from now, we're still going to be talking about it and like examining what that show did. So yes, when you're comparing the two, it's a bad win, but just looking at it by itself, it's not a terrible win. I'm going to go back and see Solo Leveling again because I did find it entertaining. But to me, my heart speaks to me. I know critically it's Frieren. That's my prediction. It's going to Frieren. I'm going to be in its camp. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But if I pick Solo Leveling, but Frieren takes it, that'll hurt me. To say that I didn't have enough faith in the show to not be in its corner. That'll hurt. So no, I'm not going to do that to Frieren. I'm predicting it. I'm 100% in its corner. Final lock. Done. Done deal. And those are my predictions. Thank you guys for joining me for this road to the 2025 Anime Awards. It's always fun to do this. Please don't forget to let me know how you liked this entire season. Again, I changed up my reviews this time to kind of like focus more on the award aspect of it. Because of that, I did miss out on certain things, such as more of like maybe the negative points to a review like I would normally do. I try to keep it balanced when possible, of course. But because a lot of these are nominations and a lot of the nominations are warranted, a lot of it was more positive talk. And I get that maybe speaking more negatively about the show sometimes or being critical, you get more of a reaction, you get more views that way. Ultimately, I don't care about that. I just, I want people to be entertained, and I want people to kind of join in the excitement of like kind of the festivity of it all. Because in the end, I'm not here to bash anime, and like I love anime, so I want to kind of build this harmony together. But again, you let me know. You let me know what you think. I may translate this to the DICE Awards, to the Oscars next year as well, if you did enjoy it. Otherwise, the Anime Awards are technically tomorrow. They're like at 1 a.m. where I'm at. So yes, I will be up. I will be watching them live. And I will be getting drunk, most likely anyway, as I get probably almost all of them wrong. Stupid heart. Why do you do this? Until then, everybody, come back, see how I do. If the video doesn't go up, I'm dead of alcohol poisoning. But if not, until that next video, stay safe out there and have a good one.